Keep the knees tucked in. Push the navicular down. Chest up, chest up, chest up. Don't collapse. Try to maintain it as best as you can. All right, so we're gonna start with a cardio warm-up. For the cardio warm-up, we're just gonna start by doing some gentle marching on the floor. And with regard to the marching, you wanna try and slowly roll and unroll your foot. So you don't wanna pound down with your foot. Right now, we're just gonna start out nice and slow. Just get a little bit of arm movement. Then we're gonna gradually pick up the pace, so the knees are gonna come up a little bit higher. Get the knees up to 90 degrees. Get the arms moving a little bit more. Pick up the pace a little bit. We're going to go a little bit faster right now. Get those knees nice and high. Get the arms swinging. All right, now we're going to put the arms out to the sides, out in front. And keeping the elbows above your shoulders, you're going to bring your arms back and then forward. Back, forward. When you're doing this, be very conscious of what your head is doing. You don't want to stick your head out. You want to keep your chin retracted. The crown of your head, you want to push it toward the ceiling. Let's start moving the hands a little bit quicker. All right, now what we're going to do is alternate movements. So we're going to do 4 front. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And keep up that pace. Pick it up a little bit. Now we're going to do 2 and 2. So 2 forward, 2 up. 2 forward, 2 up. Now 1 and 1. And now just up. Get the knees nice and high. Now a little bit faster with the hands. Okay, we're going to start to slow down a little bit. Now we're going to start with the osteoarticular warm-up. For the osteoarticular warm-up, we're going to start at the ground up. So first thing we're going to do is work at the feet. Plant your big toe on the floor. Lift up the other 4 toes. Now we're going to lower the 4 toes, raise the toes toward the ceiling. Big toe down, 4 toes up. 4 toes down, big toes up. And now alternate, nice and quick. Big toe down, big toe up. Now we're going to start to work on the ankles. So do some calf raises. Gonna do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're gonna raise the toes toward the ceiling. So we're gonna go into dorsiflexion. So try to point your toes toward the sky. So the opposite of what we were just doing. And now we are going to go into inversion and eversion. So you're going to point the soles of your feet out and then to the other side. Try to keep your hips nice and straight. Have all the movement coming from the ankles. All right, now we're gonna get our feet together. We're gonna start to mobilize the knees. So with the knees, put your hands on your thighs. Try to glide your knees as far forward as possible as you can without letting your heels come up off the ground. So really try to drive your knees as far past your toes as possible. Start out slow, and then once you feel comfortable, you can pick up the pace a little bit. Now we're going to go side to side. So right, left, right, left. Now we're going to draw some circles. Draw the circles to the right first. And now switch directions. Go to the left. Now draw some figure eights. Really try to keep your heels on the floor. Try not to let them raise. So just go as deep as you can without letting the heels raise. And switch directions. Okay, get up. Now, what we're going to be doing is working on anteversion and retroversion of the pelvis. Anteversion is when you are sticking your butt out, so the Instagram model pose, and then retroversion, you're tucking your pelvis underneath you, which is more like reality. So you have Instagram, reality, Instagram, reality, and we're going to just keep on doing that. So stick the butt out, tuck the pelvis underneath you. Working on a little awareness of the pelvis. Now that we've done anteversion and retroversion, we're going to do a little of lateral version. So for lateral version, what we want to do, with your left leg, you want to bend the knee forward to drop the pelvis down. Then you're going to straighten out your leg, and then you're going to come up onto your toes, raising the pelvis. You want to try and have all the movement coming from your pelvis. You want to try and keep your upper body as stationary as possible. So bend the knee, up on the toes. Bend the knee, up on the toes. Do this on the left side first. And now we're going to switch sides. So now with the right leg, bend the knee, up with the toes. Bend the knee, up on the toes. We're going to be doing a lot of work with the pelvis today, so we really want to mobilize it and get it nice and warm before we actually start with the exercises. Right now, we're still in the warm-up. We've got about a couple minutes left of the warm-up, and then we're going to start the workout. All right. Now you're going to put your feet wider than your hips, and also if you have a mat in front of you, wider than your mat. Your toes, you want to point them toward the inside. This is going to help fix your pelvis. You want to go into retroversion of the pelvis, so you're going to flatten out your spine. Now we're going to do some lateral translations. Bring your arms out to the side, external rotation. We're going to go to the left first. So translate to the left, back to center. Left, center. And now just go at a nice, comfortable pace. Try and get all of the movement coming from the lumbar spine. You want to try and keep your hips stationary, and you want to try and have your upper body nice and straight as well. You don't want to be leaning to the side. You're doing a translation, not a side bend. Now switch sides to the left. So left translation, back to center. Keep the arms above the shoulders. Now we're going to alternate left to right. So right, left, total range. This is a mobilization for the lumbar spine. All right, next we're going to do a little bit of side bending as well. So you're going to take your left arm Extend the elbow and wrist, external rotation. Right hand, you're going to place it around your ear. You don't want to pull on your head, you're just lightly placing your fingertips on your ear. And what we're going to do is with your left hand, you want to reach down toward the floor, and with your right elbow, you want to try and reach up toward the sky as much far as you can, and then back to center. So try and reach down as low as you can with the left, and up as high as you can with the right elbow. Really try to raise that rib cage as high as you can. And we're going to switch now. External rotation, maximum extension of elbow and wrist on the right hand, left hand, elbow up to the sky. And let's go. We're almost done with the warm-up. Couple more repetitions, and then we're going to do the shoulder mobility drill. We're going to maintain the pelvis in the same position. Your arms, external rotation, full extension of elbow and wrist, down by your sides. You're going to try to press your palms away from your body as much as you can. So imagine somebody's pulling on your arms. We're going to go straight up overhead. Once you get to the top, bring the arms out in front, tuck in the elbows, open up, touch the opposite shoulder blade. Extend the elbow and wrist, push out as you raise your arms toward the ceiling, bring the arms in front, tuck in the elbows, open up, try to touch the opposite shoulder blade. We're going to do this 5 times total. This is number 3. Bring the arms out in front, tuck in the elbows, open up. Open up. One more. Really try to protract your shoulder blades as much as possible when you're reaching for the front, and open up. Opposite shoulder blade. Wiggle everything out. That is it for the warm-up. Now we are going to do some proprioception exercises. The first one is going to be some general hip proprioception. For this one, what you want to do, there's different factors of progression. I'll get through each of them with you, but the first one, you're going to have your knee on the floor and then your toes. The second progression, if this is too easy, balancing on that, you're going to flatten out your leg. And then the third progression, if that is still too easy, you're going to try and lift your foot off of the ground. I'm going to go on a 45-degree angle, that way you guys can see what exactly I'm doing. But what you want to do for this one is the opposite leg that you're working. So right now, if you are working your right leg, lift your left leg off the ground, and you are just going to try to balance on your right knee. If it feels really comfortable, flatten out the foot. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult. And if this is still too easy for you, then try to lift the toes off the ground. For me, I'm just going to stay with my foot flat because the toes up, it's a little tricky, but if you've got the balance, give it a try. It's a really good hip proprioception. This is a proprioception just for the general hip. We're going to hold this for a few more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we're going to switch sides. Same thing, you could start in this position. If this is too easy, you could flatten out your foot. If that's too easy, you could lift your foot off the ground. So I'm going to start with my toes on the ground, lift your opposite leg up, and we're just going to balance. If you're finding that this is really easy, then you could just flatten out your foot. If you have to move your arms around to maintain balance, that's perfectly fine. One thing that will really help is try to find a fixed point on the wall or wherever you are standing and focus on that one point. If you focus on that one point, it's going to be a lot easier to balance as opposed to looking all around. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relaxed. Now, we're going to do the proprioception for the sacroiliac joint. For this one over here, we're going to do some butt walking. If you remember, your ischial tuberosities are these big bones where your hamstrings attach. What you want to do is sit on your sit bones. There's going to be a couple variations. The first one, what we're going to do is some walking. You can keep your feet on the ground and then walk forward and backward. So as your ischial tuberosity makes contact with the floor, so does your foot. And then you're going to reverse, you're going to walk backward. If this is too easy for you, you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can lift your heels off the ground. And now you're going to walk without letting your heels touch. If this is too difficult, you could go back to the way you were doing it before, keep your heels on the floor. And now we're going to walk back. Now we're going to walk forward. And back. All right. Now we're going to get into the lumbar spine proprioception. For the lumbar spine, we're in a similar position. We're still sitting down, only this time we want to roll onto our back a little bit more. So we want to try and get our sacrum down onto the floor. You can hold onto your shins just to get your balance. If this feels easy for you, you can let go of your shins and just balance on your butt. If this is still too easy, you can just move your arms around. So try and trick your body. Give yourself a couple little slaps. Just move everything around. You can even do some kicking while you're doing the hand movement. Just play around with everything. Different ranges of motion. We're almost done. 15 more seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, now that we are nice and warm, it's time to get started with the actual workout. For the workout, the first exercise that we're going to be doing is the gluteus maximus. Specifically, we are going to be doing the deep fibers, and we're going to be targeting all 4 parts of the glutes. For the first one, lie down on your back. Flex your knees to 90 degrees. You want your feet hip width apart. Your knees, squeeze them together. Make sure that they remain in contact with each other. Your chin, you're keeping it tucked in. Your eyes, you're looking down between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension. Your arms at the glenohumeral angle, so you're going to bring your arms out to the level of your forehead or slightly higher. And then from this position, pushing your navicular, so the medial arch down to the foot. You want to flatten out your arch. And you're going to roll and unroll your spine 1 vertebrae at a time as high as you can. So nice and quick. This exercise right here is targeting the lateral fibers of the deep gluteus maximus. That is the outermost fiber, so the ones closer to the trochanter of the hip, or that big bone that protrudes out to the side. Few more seconds. Go at your own pace. Really try to roll and unroll the spine and hold it at the top. We're going to hold it for 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get down, feet together, knees together, same thing. Navicular down to the ground, so flatten out the medial arch, look down between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension, keep your chin tucked in, arms at the glenohumeral angle. Try to roll and unroll the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, and try to bring your hips as high as you can without letting your knees come apart. If your knees come apart, you're either going too high or you're not paying attention to your knees. Really focus on squeezing those knees together. Hold it at the top. You're going to hold it here for 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, feet apart, knees apart. So shoulder width apart, everything is the same. Navicular down to the ground. Retroversion of the pelvis, roll and unroll the spine, arms at the glenohumeral angle, keep the chin tucked in. With your eyes, look down between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension. And go at a nice, quick pace, as quick as you can go without losing any of those components of the exercise. After this one, we have one more glute max exercise, and then we're going to move on to hamstrings. Hold it at the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together, spread the knees as far as you can without letting the navicular come up off the ground. So you want to maintain a nice flat foot. Raise your hips toward the ceiling as high as you can, one vertebrae at a time. Keep retroversion of the pelvis. With your eyes, you're looking down between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension. Your arms are up at the glenohumeral angle to fix the scapula. And just go at a nice, quick pace. This is the last one before we move on to the semimembranosus, which is the innermost hamstring muscle. How are you guys feeling? Hold it at the top, 15 seconds. And slowly come down. Roll onto your side. Next, we are going to be doing the semimembranosus, which is the innermost hamstring muscle. For this one, you are going to get in your Terminator position. So lunge position, half kneeling, with your hands on either side of your foot. With your foot that's on the ground, what you want to do, so with the knee that's on the ground, you're going to start with your heel outside of your knee, and then you're going to flex your knee and bring the heel toward the opposite glute. And let's go. If this is uncomfortable for your knee, what you can do is just roll up the yoga mat. That way you have a little bit more cushion underneath the knee that's on the floor. Hold it at the top. And again. For me, I'm going to use a little bit more cushion because my knee's bugging me. It's a lot more comfortable, so if you need it, don't be afraid to roll up the mat and put a little bit more support under the knee. Hold it. One more round. So start outside, work your way inside. So outside of the knee at the bottom, toward the opposite glute at the top. Hold it. And relax. We're going to switch legs. So the foot that was on the floor, that now is going to you're going to put the knee on the floor, and then we're going to do the opposite. Still, ankle to the outside of the knee, And you are going to flex your knee, bringing your heel toward the opposite glute. Really try to also focus on keep maintaining the retroversion of the pelvis. You don't want to stick your butt out. Hold it at the top. And back down. Round number 2. Hold it. Okay, round number 3. This is the last one, and then we're going to roll onto our sides. We're going to do some glute medius exercises. Hold it. And relax. Okay, now we're going to roll onto our sides. For this exercise over here, what you want to do, I'm going to go on a 45-degree angle, that way you can see better. You could rest your head on your arm. Your bottom leg, you are going to flex it, grab a hold of your shin with the top arm, and then your top leg, you want to flex it to 90 degrees. So you're going to flex the hip to 90 degrees. You want to keep a slight bend in your knee to release the tension on the tensor fasciae lati muscle. Point your toes toward your head. Pseudo inversion by pointing your toes toward the ground, maintaining inversion, and up toward the sky. This is for the posterior fibers of the gluteus medius. Hold it at the top. And back down. Ten more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And back down. Last one. Ten more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And down. All right, we're going to roll onto the other side, and we are going to do the exact same thing. So rest your arm on the floor, head on your arm. Flex the bottom leg, grab a hold of your shin. Flex the top leg to 90 degrees, dorsiflexion, inversion, internal rotation, and up. Hold it. This one is a lot harder than it looks. Back down, and again. Hold it. And down. Got one more round. Hold it. And relax. All right, that covers it for the glute exercises. Next, we're going to start doing some upper body strengthening, and we are going to start with the rhomboid major. For the rhomboid major, you want to lie down on your stomach. You want to pin your chin to the floor. Your legs are going to keep them straight. Your arms are going to be at the glenohumeral angle, so that means you're going to straighten out your arms roughly at the level of your forehead or slightly above that. What we want to do is try to squeeze our shoulder blades together and lift our hands off the floor as high as we can. Hold it. Really try and squeeze together at the top as high as you can. And back down. Gonna go again. Squeeze, hold it. Back down, we got one more round. Hold it. And relax. All right, get onto your knees. Get nice and tall. Next, we're going to focus on the posterior deltoids and the posterior fibers of the posterior deltoids. What you want to do for this one, elbows in full extension, wrists in full extension, external rotation as much as you can. And we're going to bring the shoulders back and just keep doing that. So try to maintain as much external rotation as possible in the shoulders. Hold it. And back. Round two. Hold it. And relax, last round. This is great for anybody that has a lot of postural issues or any type of neck or shoulder pain. Hold it. A lot of people are going to have really rounded shoulders, so by doing this external rotation, this is going to help to strengthen and reinforce the muscles in the posterior chain. And relax. Now we're going to go back onto our stomachs. We're going to work on the inferior trapezius muscle. This muscle is also really weak in most people. And if you have a lot of shoulder pain, this exercise would be really, really great to add in, as a weak inferior trapezius muscle can lead to a lot of overcompensation with a lot of the muscles that involve the shoulder. What we're going to do for this one, lie down on your stomachs. Again, you're going to pin your chin down to the ground. You're going to place your arms by your side with your palms facing the ceiling. And then you're going to lift and depress your shoulder blades while simultaneously trying to put your hands in your opposite back pockets. So your right arm, you're going to try and put your right hand in your left back pocket. Your left hand, you're going to try and put it in your right back pocket. And go. Make sure the elbows are nice and straight. You don't have to actually get your hands to touch the pockets, but just have the intention of trying to get your hands to touch the opposite pocket. Hold it. Really try to squeeze together and depress your shoulder blades as much as possible. And relax. And again. Hold it. And relax. We got one more. Hold it. And relax. That's it for the segmental strengthening for the upper body. Now we're going to work on to the core. So for the segmental strengthening for the core, we're going to work on the rectus abdominis, which is the six-pack muscle. And what we want to do for this one, grab a hold of your shins for this first one. This is going to be the easiest. You're just going to roll onto your spine and then sit back up nice and tall. Going to do a few repetitions holding onto the knees. And then if this is too easy for you, let's grab a hold of the hamstrings. And you're going to try and get a little bit lower. Sit up nice and tall at the top. If this is still too easy, grab a hold of your hamstrings closer to the bottom and try and roll even lower. And then finally, if you can still manage it, if this is too easy, bring your arms out. And try to roll down until roughly your L3, which is roughly at the level of your belly button. And sit up nice and tall. We're going to do two more, and then we're going to hold it at the bottom position. So right here, we're going to hold it. And back up. Do some more. Roll down as low as you can without letting your heels come up. So if your heels have to come up, you've gone too far. One more, and then we're going to hold it at the bottom. And back up. One more round. On the next one, we're going to hold it at the bottom. Keep the chin tucked in. And slowly come down to the ground. Next, we're going to do the rectus abdominis subumbilical. So for this one, we're lying down on our backs. Your arms are at the glenohumeral angle, so roughly at the level of your forehead or just above. You're going to flex your hips and knees to 90 degrees. Look down between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension. And then your knees, you want to move them straight up and down toward the sky and the ground. You're not bringing your knees toward your chest. You're going straight up and straight down. It's a very subtle movement. You want to try and lift all the vertebrae up until the level of your L3, or roughly the level of your belly button. So knees up to the sky and down. It's a very subtle movement. You're not doing a whole lot. And hold it at the top. And back down. Again. Hold it at the top. And back down. Last one. And hold it at the top. And relax. All right, how are the abs feeling after that one? I don't mind, we're on fire. Very small movement, but very, very effective. That is it for the segmental strengthening. Next, we're going to move on to the myofascial stretching. And for the first myofascial stretch, we are going to work on the psoas major. So whatever knee is on the floor, that is going to be the psoas that we are stretching. You can put your right knee on the floor, left leg forward. What you want to do is your heel of the kneeling leg, move it outside of your knee. The opposite, you're going to roll your foot out to the side, glide over. You're going to shift your hips forward, go into retroversion of the pelvis. Flex shoulders and elbow, maximum external rotation. You're going to bend away from the knee that's on the floor, just with the lumbar spine, trying to get all the movement from the lumbar and not from the thoracic. And then rotate toward the side of the knee that is on the floor. Keep your chin tucked in, push the crown of the head up toward the ceiling. And we are going to hold this for 30 seconds. Maintain all of those points of contact. So push the ankle out, ankle out, ankle out. Retroversion of the pelvis. Palms out, chin tucked in, crown of the head up. Side bending away from the knee that's on the floor. Rotating toward the side of the knee that's on the floor. 10 more seconds, knee out, ankle out, ankle out. Maintain retroversion of the pelvis. Push the palms out, chin tucked in, crown of the head up. Bring the hips into extension. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come out of it. We're going to switch sides. All right, if you guys are all set up, ankle outside of the knee, opposite leg, walk it over a bit. You want to translate the hips over to that side, shift your hips forward, retroversion of the pelvis, extension of elbows and wrists, maximum external rotation, side bend away, rotate toward the side of the knee. Chin tucked in, crown of the head up. Hold this for 30 seconds. Maintain all those points of contact. So ankle out, maintain the abduction, retroversion of the pelvis, hips forward, chin tucked in, crown of the head up, side bend away, rotate toward, push the palms out, chin tucked in, crown of the head up, ankle out, retroversion of the pelvis. Keep the hip extension. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come out of it. That was the myofascial stretch for the psoas major. Next, we're going to do the myofascial stretching for the rectus femoris. Same starting position as with the psoas major. We're in a kneeling to half kneeling position. What you want to do, get one arm on the floor. With the opposite arm of the knee that's on the floor, you want to reach behind you and grab a hold of your ankle. You want to try and bring your ankle so that your heel is touching your butt. You want to get nice and tall, bring the heel across toward the midline. Once you're nice and tall, if you feel nice and comfortable and stable, bring the arm out. Extension, external rotation. Bring the arm straight up. And we are going to hold this for 30 seconds. So maintain all points of contact. Your hips in extension, your knees in full flexion, your heel toward the butt, heel toward the midline, chin tucked in, crown of the head up, flexion of shoulder, maximum extension of elbow and wrist, and maximum external rotation. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come out of it. Put your hand on your shin, arm down, switch sides. So now the opposite foot's on the floor, opposite knee's on the floor. With the hand that is opposite to the knees on the floor, you're going to reach behind, grab a hold of your ankle. Try to touch your ankle toward your butt. If you feel nice and comfortable, you're going to get up off the floor. You're going to shift the pelvis forward, retroversion of the pelvis. Full extension of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation, arms straight up, palm to the ceiling, chin tucked in, crown of the head to the ceiling. Hold for 30 seconds. Maintain all points of contact, so you're really flexing that knee as much as possible, bringing the heel toward the butt, driving it across the midline, keeping the pelvis in retroversion, hip extended, shoulder flexed, extension of elbow and wrist, chin tucked in, crown of the head toward the ceiling. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. That's it for the lower body stretching. Next, we are going to do some upper body myofascial stretching, and this first one is for the superficial fibers of the pectoralis major. You're going to lie down on your stomach. What you want to do for this one, spread your legs apart, flex your knees, dorsiflex your ankles, evert your ankles. With the pec that you are stretching, put that arm at the glenohumeral angle, so at the level of your forehead or roughly a little bit higher. You're going to get into extension of elbow and wrist. Bring the opposite arm under the armpit. The side that you're stretching, you want to turn your head away from it. Externally rotate the shoulder that you're stretching. Pin the shoulder to the floor. And then you are going to use the opposite arm to try and roll onto your shoulder. Going to hold that for 30 seconds without losing any of the contact. So your legs are abducted, knees are flexed, ankles are dorsiflexed and everted. Your shoulders pinned to the floor, elbow and wrist are in full extension, external rotation. Your ear is pinned to the floor, and then your palm, you're pushing your palm to roll onto your side of the chest that you are stretching. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come out of it. So roll back down to the floor. Relax the one arm, relax the second, relax the legs. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So the legs are spread out, they're abducted. You're going to flex the knees, dorsiflex the ankles, evert the ankles. Your arm is extended out to the side. You're going to look to the opposite side, palm down on the floor, extension of elbow and wrist, externally rotate the shoulder, pin the shoulder blade down, or pin the shoulder down to the floor. And you want to use the opposite arm to push yourself up so that you could roll onto the shoulder of the side that you are stretching. Going to hold this for 30 seconds without losing any of those points of contact. So the thighs are abducted, the knees are flexed, dorsiflex those ankles, evert the toes. Really focus on pushing that shoulder down toward the ground. Try to pin it. Get into full extension of that elbow and wrist, external rotation. Keep the chin, keep the ear pinned to the floor. Really press with that opposite arm to roll onto the shoulder. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly come out of it. Next, we are going to do some myofascial stretching for the biceps brachii. For this one right over here. You're sitting nice and tall. You can flex your knees to 90 degrees, dorsiflex and evert your ankles. With your shoulders, you're bringing your shoulders behind your back, keeping the elbows straight. Your palms are facing the ceiling, so you want to be in this position right over here. The reason the palms are facing the ceiling is because the biceps are responsible for shoulder flexion, elbow flexion, and supination. So we want to go into shoulder extension, elbow extension, and pronation by keeping your palms toward the ceiling. From this position over here, we're creating a valgus force at the elbows. So imagine that you're trying to drive your elbows toward each other. You want to rotate your shoulders back, keep the chin tucked in, crown of the head up toward the ceiling, and we are going to hold this for 30 seconds. So really try to focus on bringing those elbows toward each other. So you're straightening out the elbows as much as you can. Keep those shoulder blades back, so really round your shoulders back. We're going to hold this for about 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come out of it. So you can relax the chest, slowly relax the arms one at a time. And that is it for the myofascial stretching. Next, we're going to do the ELDOAs. For the ELDOAs, the first one we're going to do is the L4, L5 ELDOA. For the L4, L5, we are sitting on our butt. We want to bring our heels roughly shoulder width, or roughly at the width of our ischial tuberosities. Those are your sit bones. If you're not sure where exactly those are, if you make a fist and place it right in between your heels, that's roughly going to be the width of your ischial tuberosity. So make a fist, put it between your heels, then you're going to flex your knees to 90 degrees. From here, you're going to dorsiflex your ankles and evert your ankles. Then you're going to push your knees down toward the floor. And then from this position, get nice and tall with the spine. Bring the arms out in front, extend the elbows and wrists. Bring the arms up, keep the chin tucked in, push the crown of the head away from you toward the ceiling. And then with your eyes, you're going to look in front of your feet to put the dura mater under tension. Maintain a nice tall spine. Maintain all of those components, so keep the ankles dorsiflexed, push the knees down toward the floor, nice and tall with the spine. Keep the arms up, palms up, palms up, palms up, chin tucked in, chin tucked in. Get tall with the spine, don't let yourself collapse. Dorsiflex the ankles, keep the tall spine, keep the spine tall, 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 don't let yourself collapse. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One arm at a time. Slowly lower it. Grab a hold of your shins. All right, next we are going to do the T8, T9 ELDOA. This one is everybody's favorite. What we're going to do for this one, going to keep our heels roughly in line with the ischial tuberosities. You're going to flex your feet all the way until you notice that your lumbar spine starts to round. Once your lumbar spine starts to round, you want to stop over there. Grab a hold of your shins to get set up. Maintain a nice tall spine. The navicular bone, so the one on the medial arch, you're going to flatten out that one. So push it down to the floor, flattening out the arch. You're going to externally rotate the tibia. While maintaining that, internally rotate at the femur. Bring the arm out to the side. Extension of elbow and wrist, arm up. The other one, same thing, arm up. And we are going to maintain this position for 1 minute. Keep the chin tucked in, crown of the head up toward the ceiling, and look down with your eyes to put the dura mater under tension. Keep the knees tucked in, push the navicular down, chest up, chest up, chest up, don't collapse. Try to maintain it as best as you can. Stay nice and tall, keep the shoulders up. Knees tucked in, Get tall, get tall, get tall. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One arm at a time, slowly lower. And now we're gonna roll down onto our spine. Next is the C67 ELDOA. For the C67 ELDOA, you wanna flex your hips so that your sacrum lifts up off the ground. This is going to help to relax the abdominals. You're going to point your toes toward your head, so going to dorsiflexion of the ankles, eversion of the ankles. With your arms, extension of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation. Bring your arms down toward the floor without letting them touch the floor. Push your palms down, away from your body. Keep the chin tucked in, crown of the head away from your body. And then lift your head 1 centimeter off the ground, or roughly the width of 1 fingertip. So if you're not sure if your head is in the right spot, just put your hand right behind your head and it should be 1 fingertip away from the ground. Maintain all points of contact. So hips are flexed, knees are flexed, ankles are dorsiflexed and everted, sacrum's off the ground, abdominals are relaxed, shoulders, elbows and wrists are in full extension, external rotation of the shoulders, chin is tucked in, crown of the head is pushing away, and your eyes are looking between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension. 30 seconds. 15. Really keep that chin tucked in. Don't let your head go into extension. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab one hand, put it behind your head, and slowly lower your head to the ground. Relax the other arm, relax one leg at a time. Roll onto your side. And now next, we are going to start to do some transverse abdominis work. So we're going to do some strengthening exercises for the transverse abdominis. For this one, you're going to lie down on your back. And what we're going to do for this one over here, we want to take a nice deep breath in to pre-stretch the transverse abdominis, or your TBA. So you're going to inhale, try to raise your belly toward the ceiling as high as you can. Then you're going to exhale, draw the belly button toward the spine. Now we're going to inhale, keep the belly drawn in, don't let it expand, don't let it expand. So inhale, exhale, try and bring the belly further toward the spine. Inhale, keep it tucked in. Exhale, belly down to spine. Inhale, keep the belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. One more time. Inhale, belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. And inhale, relax. And we're going to go again. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, keep the belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, keep the belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. 2 more times. Inhale, belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, belly to spine. And relax. One more time. Inhale, big belly to expand the transverse abdominis, and then exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, keep the belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. 1 more time. Inhale, belly tucked in. Exhale, belly to spine. And inhale, relax. Next, we're going to do some diaphragmatic breathing. With the diaphragmatic breathing, we're going to take a nice big breath in through the stomach. So inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And let the belly collapse. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, relax. Now keep the belly in. Inhale through the chest. Exhale, relax. Inhale through the chest. Exhale, relax. One more time. Inhale through the chest. Exhale, relax. Now we're going to inhale into the belly. Hold it at the top. Transfer the breath from your belly to your chest. Exhale, relax. Inhale to the chest. Hold it. Transfer the breath from your chest to your belly. Exhale, relax. Inhale to the belly. Transfer the breath from your belly to your chest. Transfer the breath from your chest to your belly. Exhale, relax. Inhale to the chest. Transfer the breath to your belly. Transfer back to the chest. Exhale, relax. Now we're going to take 3 belly breaths. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, relax. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, relax. One more big breath. As much expansion as you can get. Inhale to the belly. And exhale, relax. All right, we have one exercise left, and that is going to be the L5S1 ELDOA. For this one, if you have a wall available, then you can do it by the wall. For me, I don't have a wall right in front of me for the purpose of the camera, so I'm going to be using my squat rack. What you want to do is get right up against the wall, so you want your butt touching the wall. Once your butt's touching, you want to straighten out your legs on the wall. You want to push your sacrum down toward the floor, keeping your heels in line with the ischial tuberosities, dorsiflexing your ankles. Go into pseudo inversion by inverting and internally rotating. You want to maintain full extension of the knees. Keep your chin tucked in. Push the crown of your head away from your body. You're pushing out with the crown, pushing into the wall with the coccyx. So out with the crown, in with the coccyx. Out with the crown, in with the coccyx. With the legs, you're gliding up with the heels, and then you're pushing down with your sacrum toward the floor. So up with the heels, down with the sacrum. Up with the heels, down with the sacrum. With your arms, full extension of elbows and wrists, maximum external rotation. Bring the arms down toward the floor into full shoulder flexion. Keep your chin tucked in, and with your eyes, you're going to look down between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension. Maintain a nice controlled breath. Try to relax the abdominals. So you're pushing down with the sacrum, up with the heels. Down with the sacrum, up with the heels. Maintain the dorsiflexion, inversion, and internal rotation. Keep the knees extended. Keep the chin tucked in. Push the crown of your head away from the ceiling. Keep the elbows extended, wrists extended. Maximum external rotation. Relax your abdominal cavity. Take nice deep breaths. Up with the heels, down with the sacrum. Up with the heels, down with the sacrum. Coccyx to the wall, crown away. Coccyx to the wall, crown and away. Chin tucked in. With your eyes, look between your thighs. 15 seconds. Relax the abdominals. Sacrum to the floor, heels up the wall. Sacrum to the floor, heels up the wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax one arm at a time. Relax one leg at a time, so flex one knee. And then you're going to roll onto your side. Slowly come out of the actual L5S1 ELDOA. And that was it for today's ELDOA class.